I'm going to jump off real quick. Everybody in Facebook land, we are live playing in traffic, and Lou cannot talk because his mic's not working. But my name is Louis Lee from All Ins Magazine and co-host of Playing in Traffic, and we're gonna go through the lineup here. Yep,
you hear me?
You.
Yes. Got it.
You hear me?
Yeah.
Woo!
Okay, Lou, tell them who you are.
Tell them who I am?
Yeah.
All right, I'm Lou Santiago. I do a little show called Car Fix. It's no big deal. Another host of Playing in Traffic. Tori, go.
Hey, everybody.
Tori, go.
From Long Island, New York. I am going. Could you hear me now?
Yeah.
We can hear you.
I'm Tori DeBlasi from Long Island, New York, and I sell rear differential parts. I'm a dealer for the right stuff. I'm a dealer for Holly, so if you need anything, I can save you some money.
Jim, go.
Go ahead, Mike.
I said, Jim, go, damn it.
Yeah, he's the one in charge of the show, not you, Tori. Easy, fella. You're only an LT, you're. Jim Costello, Long Island, New York. We're an avid listener of Motormouth Radio, and I guess I'm here for Ray.
And Facebook chat room specialist.
There you go.
I'm trying to do right now.
Nelson, go. I got the converter about 20 minutes ago, by the way. Thanks. Go, Nelson.
Awesome, great, glad to hear it, buddy. Hey, Nelson Gill. I own Boss Hog Torque Converters. We've got a lot of stuff up our sleeves, but you know what? We're not selling lip service. We're selling engineering and hard, cold facts, man. So get your stall converters from right here at Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
Scott, go.
John Guerrero.
Scott, go.
Connection.
Scott Rosen.
I said Scott. I know you
John.
can. You said you can. Scott, go.
Scott Rosen, Worcester, Massachusetts. I am mobile electronic specialist, and at this point, mostly remote starters this time of year.
Remote starters. Did you catch that from Massachusetts?
Like the car, the garage.
Ryan, go. Matt, go. Ryan,
Hey,
go.
Macdo Man. And you can catch me on Facebook and Instagram.
That's it?
Oh, yeah. I haven't got the website up yet, and I'm working on Twitter also.
We're done.
But,
Moving on.
Moving
Brooke
on.
Chevelle owner, go. It says Broke Chevelle owner.
Oh, hey. Oh, sorry.
Pay attention.
I forgot I
There
changed
will
my
be
name.
a test.
I
There's
know.
going to be a test.
Jason from Fairfax, just a car lover and frequenter of the show, I guess.
Jason's not paying attention. I knew it was Jason, but he put Broke
I know. I forgot I changed my name. Sorry.
Al, go.
Hey, Al Handy, Columbia, New Jersey. How's everybody?
Great.
Oh, hey, how's it going?
And tonight, our guest, they haven't paid me their friendship dues.
Hold on, we forgot John.
John's not on the screen.
And Mike.
Yeah, he is.
Where's he at?
He's right there.
Many of us.
He's not on my
It's
screen.
not on your screen.
On my screen.
Yeah.
John, go ahead and kick it.
I'm calling people on my screen.
Yeah. John
In the order they
Guerrero.
appear on my screen.
All right, John, your turn.
Chassis Connection race cars, living in Tampa, Florida.
Yeah, he also does fish tanks. Okay.
Yeah, custom
and,
fish
and
tanks.
I didn't pay
How
my
about Mike
friendship dues.
Musto?
I didn't pay my friendship dues, but they came anyway. Our guests tonight are
Joe and Amanda Martin.
Oh my God. Joe, didn't I say there was going to be a test? I'm glad Amanda was paying attention. So, Amanda, being that Joe didn't pick up on anything that happened in the last 2 minutes. Amanda, what show do you guys do? So everybody knows.
We are on Iron Resurrection, which is on the Velocity Network, like yourself.
Now the Motor Trend.
Oh,
Motor
shoot,
Trend.
yeah, I'm sorry. Motor Trends. Oh, my God. He is paying attention.
So are you guys shooting now? Are you shooting your season? Are you done or what?
Well, we're done, but we're scheduled to shoot mid-January, so we're kind of enjoying our time off and trying to get some projects done so we can bring in those new TV cars, you know.
I understand TV cars. Yes, I understand.
Yeah,
All
yeah.
about TV cars.
Yeah.
Jeez. So you guys are going into 5th season?
Season 4.
Four,
Season
yeah.
4? Okay, cool. Now, where in
That's
Texas
good.
are you
Both
located?
quick.
We are in Austin area, about 30 miles west of Austin.
Oh, okay. I didn't know where you guys were. I just knew you were in Texas. I didn't know it was Austin. That's
Yeah,
cool.
yeah.
John popped back up on my screen now, by the way. So did you guys? So anything cool on your build? I know. Was it last season you guys did a 50 Merc, wasn't it?
Yes.
We did, yeah.
Anything else cool on there?
Man, we did a 71 or 2 Nova.
Mm-hmm.
Can't remember what.
Super
Cool roadster shop frame and a lot of metal work. But as the project evolved, the owner kept adding stuff, and I want to do this now. I want to do this, which was cool. And but we didn't get the car painted for the show, so we revealed it in bare metal. The producers were freaking out. They were like, "Man, everybody will understand this, man. You know what I mean? Why?"
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
Don't worry about
Trust me, they'll understand, man.
Yeah. They don't worry about those producers. They don't know shit.
Yeah.
They don't know a damn thing about it. The only thing they know about a car is that it has 4 wheels and it gets them to the grocery store.
That's it. Yeah.
They just care about the money.
Yeah, that's all they give. Yeah. All they care about is the money. You ain't lying about that, Scott.
Yeah.
Now that Merc that you did, when it drove up, I was like, man, that's a nice car. And then you guys tore it all apart, and I'm like, well, yeah, it's still nice, but then I drove it the way it was. You know what I mean?
You talking about the Nova, Lewis? You talking?
The Mercury.
The Mercury.
Oh, the Mercury. Well, the Mercury on TV it looks nice.
It was a 50-footer.
Yeah.
It's like how stuff looks nice on the internet, man. But you get that car, and we started, it's the usual thing, soda blasting it down, and man, what an ass
really
whipping, can of worms.
Start digging around, you find stuff.
Oh yeah, and just bad engineering over the years, and just a lot of bad ideas over the years, So
they add up. Huh?
Hey, Joe, how long is an average car take that you guys do on TV?
Well, it depends. We try to get a couple, pretty involved projects in, and then to meet the schedule, we try to pick cars that we hope we can do, some easy ones, 3 or 4 week type of deals. Maybe something with, we're going to do a patina deal or something where we're not going to paint the car. So we try to squeeze some of that in because, the schedule's just so tight. But at the same time, we want to do what's close to our heart, which is a really involved, super trick project that, obviously doesn't pan out with a schedule of the producers and stuff, man.
Well,
yeah.
Well, we get them TV ready is what we do, and they're never finished whenever you see them revealed on TV. I mean, that's just absolutely impossible with the staff that we have. We're a small shop.
They're usually about 90%, but then we go back and, stuff like the stereos and then interiors in the trunk and
AC,
stuff like that,
stuff that you can't see.
Stuff that you can't see. We'll go back and detail that stuff out. But for the most part, they're like I said, 90% done. But
we usually have about 1,500 to 2,000 hours in each build, though. Like the builds that you see on TV, the full builds.
Do you have extra people that we don't see on your TV that are working on the cars?
Not really. No, everybody's we got a few shy guys that don't want to be on there and stuff, but.
We don't have a secret shop across the street, though.
Yeah, we don't. Yeah, it's kind of what you see, is what you get there, So, yeah, no extra shop in the background.
Don't mean to disturb. Hello, everyone.
Turn your damn volume down, man. Your microphone.
What was that?
Terry, turn your volume down on your microphone.
Hold on one sec.
That's Terry. Terry's in New York. He's loud.
He's motivated.
How's that?
We're all from New York.
Better.
All right, I think we're good.
That.
How's that?
Sounds good, man.
Yeah, you're good.
All right. So you gonna say something, or you just gonna sit there? I thought you had a question.
Talk, Terry.
Uh-oh.
His mic.
Now we lost him.
He lost his mic.
He muted
himself.
You muted yourself, Terry.
You hit the mute
I
button.
brought
Hit the mute
Terry
button, man.
into
All right, I'm back.
Oh my God!
I thought I was bad.
See, you two didn't know what you were walking into tonight.
I had no clue. What's up, everyone? How's everyone doing?
Good. How are you?
Good.
That's
Nice
Terry.
to meet you.
Terry
I
does
kind of
LS
missed you at
conversions.
SEMA. I'm sorry.
All right.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's Fast and Furious.
Yeah.
Oh,
So-
man. What's up, Mike? What's up, Boss Hog? What's up? How you doing, Lou?
Good.
Let's run it down.
So, if you were
No,
here on
Terry.
time like I was, you would have known that because we ran it down. So I want Joe and Amanda. I want you guys to know the first time I ever saw you guys on TV was the Biker Build-Off series.
Me too.
Oh, really? That's cool.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I mean because I do like bikes, and I just what I like is the cool shit you made. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because
Man, I appreciate
I'm
it.
not. I've said this before, and I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not a sheet metal guy. Coming from a heavy equipment background, my idea of sheet metal is plate. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
1/8-inch plate and up. That's my idea of sheet metal. So to watch you guys, you know, just hammer out a damn gas tank. That to me, that's just so impressive. It really, truly is. And even today, like I don't do sheet metal. I'll build chassis all day, but the most I'm gonna do is hang a quarter panel. You know what I mean? I'm not a sheet metal guy.
Going
See,
back
I got
on the
a backhoe I need fixed, Lou, and that would
I can
amaze
do
me if you
that.
came and fixed my.
I can do that. That's easy.
Yeah.
That's easy. Yeah, that's easy. Yeah.
Sounds like a road trip, Lou.
Brian was going to say something, and it doesn't happen often. Go ahead, Brian.
Oh, going back to what Lou was saying, how much motorcycle stuff are you doing, or building bikes? Do you still do a
Well,
lot
you know,
of that?
we still do some stuff on the side, but the channel, the network, you know, they say, well, you know, bikes don't rate as well. You know, the big bike phase kind of came and went on TV, I guess, but you know, everybody still loves motorcycles, obviously. So we still do a handful of them, but we just don't have the time because we're concentrating on these TV cars, you know.
Yeah.
So we're like, we need to do more bikes on the show, and they're like, oh man, bikes don't have ratings, man. You got to keep doing cars, you know. So.
But we've managed to squeeze in a few B-build bikes
Yeah.
on several
Yeah.
episodes.
Yeah.
Can you see it up on the screen?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it looks good.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that was the one and only bike they let us do so far in the 3 seasons.
Wow.
So far.
Well, I think the way you get people to watch the bikes, quite honestly, is build a frame.
Yeah.
See,
yeah.
here's the thing that I've learned from TV, because when I first got into TV, they didn't know what they wanted us to do. We had to do we had all these builds we had to do, and they didn't know how to build. No one in the place knew how to build a car. You know what I mean? A couple of the guys who did, like Ian knows how to build stuff. At the time, Trucks wasn't. Stacy David left, so Trucks wasn't going yet. Kevin wasn't there, and then Joe Elmore, love him to death, but Joe's a TV guy. Mike Galley tinkers, but me and Jared were like the first two car guys. That's what we did.
Yeah.
And they just what we did was we said, look, what do you want us to do? How do you want us to do this? And they're like, well, we don't know, just do whatever. So we just decided to start teaching. Like for us, it just came natural. Look, this is what we're going to do, how we're going to do it. There's 100 different ways to do it, but this is the way we do it. And it really took off. So I think with anything now, and I firmly believe this, like if you stand in front of the camera and go, we're going to build a bike frame today. That's just, we don't know what we're going to build. We're going to build a bike frame.
Yeah.
And go through why you do it the way you do it and explain the fixture. Dude, people are going to watch it.
That's what guys want to watch.
That's the feedback we get too from the show is people are like, man, that was so cool. We love, you know, we love to see the process and man, we could just sit and watch that process, and you know, so you try to get it in these guys' heads, these producers. Hey man, you know, we don't have to go out and do this extra crap and this foo-foo crap.
You don't have to.
We don't have to, man. And the people respond. It's like, man, we love watching and learning this stuff because, you know, it's the way I learned. I didn't have anybody to teach me, you know, around the guys' shops that let me hang out, and I would learn. I try to absorb what I could, man. And you know, now people, you know, they got these, you know, a TV channel for, you know, and got the internet and all these ways to learn, man. And people are starving for it.
If you teach rake and trail, they'll watch.
Yeah. Well, that's like the formula you guys did, and I think it was season 2 or something. the formula
Yeah.
that you did that rolled through.
Oh yeah.
I remember watching that episode, and they didn't show you hammering out the lower valance and the spoiler and all.
Yeah, exactly.
And then they show the walk around, and like, how come I didn't see that? Because I know it's all
Joe
hand
was
formed.
not happy.
You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
I know.
As soon as they showed the front, I'm like, oh fuck, that's cool.
Right.
You know what I mean?
There's a ton
And
of
I
work
want
in
to
that
see it.
balance.
And it was funny because like a couple days later on Instagram, in case you missed it on Iron Resurrection, some jackleg from Velocity puts it up. I'm like, you didn't show shit.
Yeah, exactly.
And I know it wasn't you guys. I know
Yeah.
damn well it was someone in the TV and go, oh, that's not important.
Yeah,
Oh,
one
exactly
of the
right,
others.
man.
Yep.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
exactly.
TV producers have no idea what's important.
They
That's
don't
the
get
problem.
it.
Exactly. They don't.
They're never going to know. And if they
Exactly.
just sat back and they let the car people dictate what goes on, their
Yeah.
audience would grow exponentially because
You're
we know
exactly
what
right.
the
You're
audience
exactly
wants
right.
to see.
But
yeah.
Mike, the problem with that is the TV people don't care because they don't see money in it.
No,
If
I
they
know.
can't see money in it, they don't give a shit about it.
Right, but I mean, if you're doing it like what you guys do, right? If there's that educational component in it, and it's not just, oh, let's throw a chair and yell at this asshole and do this. I mean, shops generally don't do that. Granted, there's a little bit of drama, but the fact of the matter is, as soon as you enter that educational component, people get drawn to it, and people get sucked in, and they just have to see, and they have to be able to give a show a chance to impart that on the audience, as opposed to just being like, oh, it didn't hit these numbers in this episode, fuck it, we're canceling it.
Yeah.
And it's the most frustrating thing in the world because that's a show that you can watch with your wife, you can watch with your kids, and now all of a sudden everybody wants to see what's happening because they're learning a little bit. You know, they just don't do it. It drives me nuts, man.
But it seems like from all the shows that have gotten, just in my opinion, the ones that are catching traction are the ones like what you guys are doing. I'll sit down and watch y'all show from start to finish, but some of the other ones like, East Coast, West Coast Custom, I just can't watch that. It just, you guys build stuff. You're in there, it's just so much. And I did have a question for you, Joe. I love what you guys do. Most of your cars that you guys build are just low slung, just badass. I have a Chevelle, 66 Chevelle. When you guys set them down like that, do you guys typically use an aftermarket frame, or do you guys modify I'm sure there's no right or wrong answer there, but.
Well, if they're mainly customer cars, so if the customers finance well enough, go with an Art Morrison or a Roadster Shop or something like that. But we get some that we did that orange GTO and tore it down, and the guy wanted to get a 12-inch wheel in there, so we narrowed the rear end and basically took a stock frame, which we found was a little bit bent up, and thought, hey man, this is kind of a challenge. Let's make something out of this stock frame, and man, it rode as good as these high dollar frames that we use. So it's really it really depends on what the customer wants to do, how much he wants to spend, and because we'll do whatever, man. If it's my own car, I'll try to piecemeal it out of some crap that's laying around the shop, man. I'm not gonna be able to afford a Roadster Shop on every one of my projects, so I'll get some tubing out and put it on my frame table and try to build it up and
make it work.
What do you typically on a frame swap like that? I remember like Dave Kendig did one, and I like their show because they build some really cool stuff too.
Oh yeah.
They took I think it was a 55 they did. They pulled the body off, put a new frame under it. What is something like that? And obviously it's a very large question, but what would you say if you said aftermarket frame and the whole install? What would you be looking for something like that?
Like price wise or
roughly, yeah, just ballpark.
Oh man, it's so hard to say. It's each car is so different, and then the hours, the hourly rate is just kind of what it boils down to. We've shot ourselves in the foot so many times trying to quote a price to people. Every car you run into something different, and really it kind of depends on which frame you use. Some frames you got to obviously cut the floor out. Some are engineered where they just bolt right on, and obviously that's going to save a lot of man hours, but man, it's all over the board. It's so hard to say. We'd almost have to go back and look at past projects to kind of see how many hours we had.
It's amazing because my car's a 10-footer now. I'd say it's a nice looking car, but everybody that I talk to around here in the Virginia DC area, they go. A lot of them said, we just got out of it. It's just we were losing they just went back to regular collision work, and so these it's so you've got to either be all in. It's just amazing.
Yeah.
I got to figure this, but I'll give them to you later. I don't want to.
Yeah, it's definitely a challenge.
The big thing that I found when I stopped building 2 years ago for the public. I just said, screw it, I don't want to do it. I got tons of my own stuff to do. But seriously, the problem, the big thing that you got to worry about is chasing your money.
Right.
Yeah.
Because, every week you're going to send somebody a bill for like $2,000.
Right. Oh yeah.
And next thing you know, it's sitting there. And I know John knows this. I know Bob. I know everybody who builds cars knows this. You're going to sit there, and if that check doesn't come in, now all of a sudden that thing's sitting in your shop, and then there comes a point where you got to decide, okay, am I going to charge these people storage because they didn't pay the bill that they owe me? Now all of a sudden you're looking at charging them storage. Now what are you going to do? You know what I mean? And I know shops that have had cars in there, they're building 6 months to a year, and it's like, look, man, you got to square up, or else we're going to have to do something, because it's crazy.
Oh, yeah.
I know a shop right now. They just put 2 cars in a shipping container because the owner said, I got to start it again in 6 months.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I mean,
It's
as
just
shop
the way
owners,
it
though,
is. Huh?
That's a
can't you
common
take some-
thing, man.
Can you take money? Here's the thing. I don't think when most people go in to do a build, I don't think they have any concept of what it actually costs. Right?
They
And
don't.
Part of that is because of
Man.
television, and part of that. But like, if you go
They
to get a
don't.
car painted, for instance, and
Yeah.
you tell somebody, well, it's going to be 18 to 20 grand to get your car painted, they're like, what the hell are you talking about? And it's like they don't know anything, and this is where I think the educational thing comes in, because they don't know what bodywork costs. They don't know the amount of man hours. They don't know what rot.
But
cars.
Mike,
They-
here's part of the problem. Okay, TV's part of the problem. But the
Yeah.
other
It
part,
is.
but the other part of the problem is this. I don't do paint and body, right? But I know for a fact I've bought paint for cars. Just the paint was $1,500 for a gallon. That's not the reducer. That's not the activator. That's none of that, right? So now,
Not like the days of
you're
lacquer.
telling me, I'm standing here as a shop owner telling you, and I know you have no idea. I'm going, look, man, this is what it's going to cost. On the cheap side, the paint's going to cost you $800 a gallon. And then you're going to go, well, I got a friend that can paint it for $800.
Oh,
There you go.
Do
you
guys
should
ever
take it
try to-
over there then.
Yeah.
That's what I
Puerto
tell
Rico.
Do you try to talk people out of doing builds? Like when you get a client in, right?
Fuck yeah,
and
I
they
do.
kind of tell you what, because I mean, is there a point where, like,
I do.
You can't afford this. You're
And
not.
I
you're
turn
not the guy
people
for us?
away. I tell
You do?
people I'm
Okay.
not going to do that. I tell them I'm not going to do it. Because see, the other piece of the equation is you start doing this work, right? I do all my own chassis brackets. I have over 100 different brackets that I have designed, that I have put on cars that I know work for most applications that I come across. It's stuff that I have amassed over the years. I can build all my own front ends. I can do whatever I want to do. But, it comes with a price. A guy walks in, man, I want this car to sit 4 inches off the ground. I want everything tucked up. I don't want nothing below the pinch welds. Dude, you're looking at $150K.
Oh, yeah.
You're looking
Absolutely.
at 150K. But then and then I had a guy one time come over to the house, tells me I'm going to get this rear clip and have you put it in my car. I'm going to have this, and this. Oh, and I'm going to pay you this. I'm like, no, you're not, because I ain't fucking doing it.
Yeah.
Damn.
I mean, they're coming to you because you guys are the experts, right? It's like if I go to the doctor,
But they
I'm
don't
not
look
telling
at us
the
as
doctor.
experts. They don't look at us as experts.
No,
You'd
they
be
wanna be your
amazed at how
friend.
many people think that we're still a bunch of knuckle draggers. You would be amazed at how many people think that, man. Because you sit there, because see, you always get the phone calls, you get the people in person. Well, my friends told me you should do it this way. I'm not your friends. Collectively, your friends have built one car.
The internet
Okay?
said, yeah.
Collectively, your friends have built one car. I've done 30.
Yeah.
Well,
It's just the way it is.
Yeah.
It's just, I mean, it's a hard grind. And then the other piece, another piece of this equation is when the economy tanks, nobody wants to talk about building a $100,000, $200,000 car.
No.
Nobody.
Yeah.
Because you're like a boat. You're like a boat. You're the first guy out of the pool. You're
You
not.
are.
You're done.
Yeah.
You're done. Now you've got this car sitting in your shop. He can't pay his bill. He can't afford storage because he's losing his house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I just, it's one of those things, man. I do a lot of work. I've done more cars that have not been finished because I do the chassis work.
Right.
You know what I mean? I don't
Yeah.
build a lot of full builds because I just don't do that. I get the car in. You want it tubbed out. You want it, you want it sitting so high off the ground. You want this engine and tranny combination put in. I put that in, it goes away.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't see it again. It may never get finished.
You're smart.
You know?
Yeah.
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 But see now,
Experience.
I kick myself in the ass a lot of times because I'll flat rate a job.
Right.
And the reason why I flat rate a job is because I got money coming in from other places. I got my military retirement. It ain't a lot, but it pays my mortgage.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't have to pay for insurance. There's a lot of things I don't have to do, so I can flat rate a job. But see, I run into a different set of rules now because now I got this guy coming. Hey man, can you put this on my car?
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I flat rated your job at this.
Oh,
This
yeah.
is what we were gonna do.
Right. Don't
And
start
then they
asking
come
for
in and they
extra
keep
shit.
adding stuff, and then you got to tell them,
Oh, yeah.
we got to renegotiate this deal here. Well, why do we have to do that? Because you're adding all this other stuff.
Time
I went,
is money.
I went through that for years.
See, John
'Cause
knows.
building drag cars, we were able to kind of compartmentalize different types of builds. So that price would be, the same when somebody walks in. And then there's custom stuff added to that or other options. But I'd get a guy would sit down and sign a contract for like a $75,000 or $80,000 top sportsman type, pro stock sort of car. And then 2 months into the build, 3 months into the build, all of a sudden it's like, oh, hey, by the way, get me that titanium clutch can.
Yeah.
And can we change the wheelie bars to titanium and the parachute mount to titanium to lose some weight? And I want those billet weld wheels instead of the regular weld wheels. So now the guy just added another $15,000 to the parts bill, And then come the end, all of a sudden he's like, how did I wind up being $20,000 more than when I signed on the contract? Well, what about the can? What about the bars? What about
Right.
They
forget about all
really
that.
easy. They really forget easily.
Yeah, and they don't want to eat that. they want you to eat.
No, but you're fine. Yeah.
Right.
So how with the economy, kind of the stock market's been down a little bit here lately. So kind of when you guys at your shop, Joe and Amanda, you were building, I think it was a 63 Impala. The guy on the show brought in the 67 Nova, the fast talker car.
Oh,
that car, that's the baddest Nova I've ever seen that you guys built.
I appreciate it, man.
But the big question is, did you keep it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Good. That car is just wow. That car was just badass.
I always loved second gen. Well, I love all Novas, really, first, 3 gens, but I've never had a 66 or 7 over all the years of all my buddies, street racing, whatever it is. I've always just loved that car and just never came across one. And, it's like, oh shit, this thing just kind of lands in my lap. It's like, man, I gotta hold on to this for a while,
So he ran into that same problem. He ran into budgetary issues. And And I mean, that car you guys built for him that's what I'm talking about. That Impala sits so perfect. That's the way I want my Chevelle to sit. But what's in that 67? What did you guys power with that? Is that an LS?
It's a 6 over, 30 over 6 over, and we did the stroker 416 conversion on it, and it's square port heads, the rectangular port heads, a lot of work on the heads, and then Borla sponsored the stack injection on it.
Okay.
And 4L80. But man, it's just a nice solid combo. It runs good and starts up every time. Runs pretty cool
It's very loud.
Yeah, I got little race mufflers on it, 3-inch exhaust. So it's pretty gnarly sounding, man. But just real streetable and drives nice,
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, very cool.
We got a couple of comments and a question on Facebook. If you want to take them.
Yeah.
What is it? Tell them.
Yeah.
Read them.
Okay. Mark Ramsey just says he stopped in and saw Joe and Amanda this summer at their shop. have to say they're extremely friendly. As a fan, I greatly appreciate it.
Oh,
You
thank
get-
you.
Oh, good.
Yeah, you're getting some nice props.
Appreciate it.
And Alan Arnold seems to be, he's over on Facebook. He seems to have his own shop. He has a question. I just can't draw it. How do you do that? I know some of the guys, I've seen you draw, and actually you're pretty good at it. I'm kind of a fan of Chip Foose, but I've seen your drawings too, and they look pretty nice. How do you do that?
Well, it's kind of drawing. When I was a little kid, I always drew cars, and motorcycles and trucks and trains and stuff. I was just fascinated with that stuff. And so as a little kid, I would emulate, and I'd get hot rod magazines and I'd try to, copy the cars in the magazine. And I guess that's kind of where it started. I just always would draw as a little kid and just, that's what I'd put it down on paper. That's kind of what I'd envision these ideas and taught myself to, to sketch these things out and get a little window into, hey man, this is how it could look, just put it down on paper. And then, when I was early teens, I got into airbrushing and I'd airbrush my models and my bicycles. And then I got a striping brush and then got into that kind of stuff. And that's what kind of led to the race car stuff. I lettering race cars and got in with those guys. So it just kind of snowballed actually from just doing drawing all my life,
Well, but it's a big way that you communicate as well. I mean, it doesn't matter what we're talking about. If he's trying to explain something, he just draws it. There's no.
Yeah, it's like
he'd rather draw it.
if we're trying to figure out the way a chassis or a cage or something the floor is going to go, I'll try to explain to the guys like, oh man, just let me draw it real quick. I'll show you. So sit down and sketch it out on some cardboard boxes or something, man. Whatever's right there, and with a Sharpie, man, and that's where the ideas come from.
That's awesome.
That's cool, man. I know I can't do that. Hey, Bob, what's happening? Gotta say hi to Bob.
Hey, Bob.
Bob's a Buick guy. Has a stupid.
How we doing, guys? I never said I was smart.
We never said that, Bob. No one ever insinuated that, Bob. Settle down. Don't get your panties in a wad. Just relax.
Now, Joe, are you still working on motorcycles? I mean, are you riding them?
What's that?
Your motorcycles, are you still do you have any of the ones you built from the biker build-offs?
No, they unfortunately with having a television show, man, the next day those things were sold, you know what I mean? So
yeah,
it's a good way to advertise them. But I've got, I've just been collecting up parts. I got parts for about 5 little hardtails, and I've always been known for these long, swoopy bikes, but I've always liked the little tiny bobber style. And we kind of, when we started doing those drag bikes, bikes, that's kind of what we were known for. But always like the cafe type of stuff, So, when I get a little time, I hopefully build something up here.
Yeah. I love your builds from the biker build-offs, man. You're one of my favorite guys on there.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to build yourself a bar hopper, man. That's
Yeah.
Little bar hopper, ape hangers, suicide shift.
Oh yeah.
Got to do foot clutch.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Never go out of style, man.
That's what I learned how to ride on, man. Foot clutch jockey shift, yeah, man.
Yeah, I know. They're a blast to ride, man. They're a blast to ride. Everyone I built like that, I sell it to a customer. I gotta go back and put the regular standard shit on it. I call it the pussy shift, man.
You're a real man. You wear one of those.
Somebody's mic is picking up their speaker.
Yeah, I don't know who.
Someone's too loud. So, hey, I have a quick question, Joe. What out of all the cars you've done on the TV show, what's your favorite one you've done so far?
Man, it's probably that '67 Nova we were talking about earlier. Just because I've always wanted one so long, and it just kind of fell in my lap during that show. It wasn't even planned, so I really attached to that car. So that's probably my favorite, I guess.
That orangey red GTO, 8 or 9, I'm not sure what year it was. That was my favorite.
Oh, yeah, cool.
The ear dam on the front, the spoil in the back, that was awesome. It's just nice and clean, meat looking, not overdone, just right.
Yeah, thank you. That was kind of the idea. That guy Lee, who owned that car, he's a traditional guy, and it was kind of hard to talk him into some of those little metal mods. But once he kind of saw it, he was like, "Oh yeah, that's really cool." And then, getting the big tires underneath it and sitting right. You see a lot of these guys, their cars sit high and goofy, and they got a little 15-inch, torque thrust or something on it, man. And it's cool, but it's come on, man, let's get down to modern times, man.
I like the detail stuff you do, like when you take a bumper, because like all the muscle cars, they all had those big heavy chrome bumpers. And you cut them and you get them to fit tighter, and you kind of move them around a little bit, and you make it like GM should have made it.
Well, and that's great. That's kind of a standard mod you have to do now. Most of these car guys, if you don't do that, man, people are like, "Oh, what the fuck? The bumpers ain't tucked." You know what I mean? You know what I mean? And so that's almost kind of a standard thing you have to do now. And unless the customers are really don't want to cut the car up that much, But man, it's kind of like one of those things you have to do now. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, a bumper was made from.
You kind of gotta cut them up.
These cars, I mean, every single square inch is a design component. I mean,
sure,
it's all part of the overall look of the car.
Yep.
I love watching that
Got another question from
C10 hood you
Facebook.
did.
I was just gonna, tell him, Jim.
Cameron Cooper wants to know, how did you and Amanda meet?
Actually, I met Amanda, I don't know, what,
97.
6 or 7.
Yeah.
Joe,
at a party.
Mutual friend had a party there.
Let Amanda talk. You're gonna get in trouble.
Yeah.
Let me bail you out here.
We met at a party in 1997, and we actually we did not date until 9 or 10 years ago, something like that. I mean, we just were friends. My brother worked for him for a while, and we just we didn't start dating until like 10 years ago or so. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But she's, we've known each other for a long time, so she's known my ways and how I operate. And
Marriage anyway, huh?
I guess she figured she could put up with me, So.
Somebody else had another question. I'm not sure how appropriate this one is. How's the new puppy?
Oh man, she's great.
She's 70 plus pounds now.
Wow.
Big puppy.
I'll go get her. Hold on.
Oh my gosh, Joe's gonna go get her. She's gonna be really sleepy because she's sleeping right now. But yeah, we got Blue. We got Blue. I don't know. I think it's about, I guess about 8 months ago. I think she's about to be 11 months old. Here she comes making her big debut, Miss Sleepy Blue.
Oh, we have a
my God.
That's cute.
That is a puppy.
There's no puppy there, man.
Yeah, that's a person.
Wow.
What a cutie.
She's one of 4 we have.
Wow.
Is that the one that
she's
you
a baby?
Lack of interest looks like.
Yeah, right. Yeah, she's a very sleepy girl all the time.
That's wild.
Just coming back, he carried her over to the couch. So
70 pounds.
That's a lot of dog.
Yeah, she's a baby though. She's sweet.
That is no
Great to
small
rescue
dog,
him,
man.
It was Mark Ramsey wanted to know
Great to
that
rescue.
question. Apparently, met Blue when you first got her, and even he's saying, "Wow, she was tiny back then."
Yeah, she was like 6 or 7 pounds when we got her.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
God. The dog is freaking huge.
Yeah.
You gotta add some popcorn to her diet. Keep the weight down.
Yeah.
Just trying to figure out what we can add to our diet that cuts down on our gas a little bit.
Oh, really?
Feed 'em Beano.
Add a little Camp 2 to it.
I'm serious. I'm serious, guys. Put some Beano in her food.
No
Oh my
shit.
gosh,
Wow.
really?
Vince has talked.
My aunt,
Wow.
excuse me, my sister had a chocolate lab, and that's what the vets told her because of her issue.
Wow.
Put some Beano.
No
in her
kidding.
food.
Wow.
I kid you not, guys. Put Beano in her
Yeah,
food.
there'll
That's
be
what
no
the vets
gas.
said.
Well, we're gonna try that. We have 2 pit bulls, and they are both extremely gassy.
Gassy.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh gosh.
Yeah.
I think it's got to be a trait of that breed. We got a Staffy.
Yes, it
and
is.
That dog
Yep.
walks around and it farts louder than anybody in the house.
Oh yeah, yeah.
See, we told you we'll talk about anything on the show.
Uh-huh.
Well,
We
I'm going
warned
to
you.
try and steer this in a different direction. I just
Yeah.
spoke to Ray Guarino, who was Motormouth Radio here in Nassau County. And he apologizes for not being able to be on the show tonight. He's at Christmas shopping. He's a little bit behind. But he would love to have you as his guest on the radio show, which happens on Sunday mornings. So
You didn't
if
tell
it's
them that
okay with
already?
you.
That they were going to do that?
Well, Ray's not here to say it, so I'm
That's
saying
part
it
of
for
the
him because he's
prerequisite.
not here.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He's
right.
at the
Exactly.
mall, so I'll
Just
set
give
that
him
up.
a
He's at the
contact
mall.
info.
He's lost.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much. And
Yeah.
also, you have a very interesting car, Joe, which I really, really love. It was actually a byproduct of that 62 fuel-injected Vet that you did on the show.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Tell me about that. The Vet came out beautiful, by the way. That was,
Man, it was. Well, that was cool. That was kind of cool. It was a fuelie, fuelie car, and
yeah.
that guy. I don't know if he just came by the shop one day with some
I
friend. I
can't
think.
remember. Yeah.
Billy, he's really cool, and he's like, man, I got a collection of cars you may dig, and so we're all ears. He's like, well, come on out, So that next weekend we went out and checked out his collection, and
Sure enough, he had one that Joe wanted.
yeah, he had this
That's what I
49,
thought.
this 49 Buick. I've always loved the 49 sedanette Buick, and
Oh, yeah.
and I was like, damn, man, the car's, I'm underneath it, man, no rot, just a real cherry. And he's like, well, hey, man, I'm going to sell some of this stuff, and maybe we can do some swapping. So that's how that car ended up on the show. We did a little,
That was awesome.
trading and swapping to offset, his labor bill, And but man,
I'm
that
real
car
happy
was really
driving
cool.
home. So
Yeah.
that was a great trade. Tell him though, the cylinder heads on that 327 are wrong though for that year.
Oh, Tori, stop
yeah,
it.
wait. Yeah, stop. Well, it's crazy, man.
Heads.
Yeah, well, there were Brodix heads on that car, and so we started digging in and cleaning all the grime off that car. I'm like, holy shit, this dude's got Brodies on here, man. And so I called him. I was like, Billy, you got Brodix heads on this car, and he's like, man, well, no wonder it runs so good, And so yeah, somebody put this kick-ass set of heads beyond us, and they put the fuelie, intake back on. It's crazy, man. And then all
That
these
was
brackets, and, stock manifolds, and with a set of Brodix heads, man. I was like, what is this? This is crazy, man.
You know what Trick Flow has now? They actually have a set of aluminum heads with the double humps on them.
Yeah.
So
Oh yeah.
You
Yeah,
paint
I've
them
heard
orange,
that.
you fool your friends. I mean, the
Yeah.
Trick Flows on the inside, and they have that distinctive marking of the fuelie heads on the outside, which is pretty cool. So
Right. Well, the cool thing about that
I
car
like
I
is,
did some of that custom work on a circle track motor like that they had some class rules that didn't allow dart heads. And we made them just like factory heads, and
that's right.
do
Yeah.
some welding on the intake to raise the ports, but we could run all year with a whole lot of illegal
Without getting
going
caught, man.
Hidden secret.
You know we are live, right?
Yeah.
Don't tell anybody. This is between
They're not
us.
allowing me to track anymore.
So Joe, with the TV show and everything now, how long is the wait list? I'm sure you get that question all the time.
Man, actually, yeah, that's the good thing about the TV stuff is the job security is there for sure, man. So we're about 3 years out now.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's great.
I was
Yeah,
even
Of
in
course,
3 years.
of course, a lot of it's the TV cars that are lined
Yeah.
up, and but we got some really cool stuff that doesn't isn't going to fit the schedule of the TV show. So
You'll see it in the background.
yeah, it's stuff in the background that's actually way cooler than what we do on TV. They don't allow us the time frame,
Yeah, it's impossible.
So yeah, we've been fortunate to have a lot of good customers step up and meet some really good guys.
We have no good car builders in this area, in Northern Virginia, D.C. See Brian shaking his head? Not to the caliber you guys do. And it seems like, you guys are all in remote areas. I guess the cost to do business is much better in Texas than it is right outside of Washington, D.C.
Well, yeah,
they
seems
will
like most
follow
of the,
you if you're good.
Yeah.
They really
yeah,
will.
a lot of the cars come from out of state anyway. We got a lot of our customers who not even around us. So
Well, that's so true. Like when Joe and I were going to move here, we've been in the Austin area for about 7 years. And, of course he was doing the bikes and, he's like, man, it was a big thing to kind of move his business, here, even though it's only 3.5 hours away. And we started thinking about it and it's like almost none of his customers were in Texas. So it really just doesn't matter. You can just be anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, here in Austin, man, the car culture is really cool.
It's very strong.
It's strong. We got good weather, so people, keep their bikes and cars out all year. And then they got a lot of really cool car shows. And then, in the Dallas area, man, we had the Cars and Coffee, which is cool, but it's an hour and a half to get to one side of Dallas, and
traffic.
There's a lot of traffic in Dallas,
man. And so we came to Austin and we're just like, man, everybody embraces this car culture more. And, and of course, we got more hilly area, so everybody's, the Porsche club's out, the Ferrari club's out, the Vet club's out, the Ducati club's out, and it's really cool, man. So it's just, we thought, man, this is a really cool place to be. And so, when the economy tanked, 08, 09 and all that stuff, we were fortunate to still have, pretty decent workload. And I thought, man, it was a, scary situation because we had a great big boom and we pulled it and got out from underneath all this overhead. And I was like, man, you know what? I want to go somewhere where it's not a rat race and just don't want to have a whole bunch of employees anymore. And so this is the place we came, man. And
the one thing about Texas, as long as the oil's good, you got money.
That's it. Yeah. That's exactly it.
Yeah.
We get a lot of the oil guys.
When the oil sinks, when the oil hits the bottom, everything.
Yeah, we have several oil and gas customers.
Yeah.
Are you going to be going? Are you going to be going to the? A friend of mine's asking if he's going to the back to the 50s in Minnesota this year.
I don't know.
You know what? We're going to be right in the middle of shooting. Man, that was an awesome car show.
We went 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, we went a couple of years ago. House of Color, our sponsor there, and they had a booth set up, and they said, "Come on, check it out, man." So we couldn't believe it, man. Just the amount of cars and
cool setup too.
It's just super cool, man. And but I think we're going to be right in the middle of shooting. I don't think we're going to be able to make it this year.
Yeah. And Dan Popovich said, "What's up?" He said, "You guys kick ass. He loves your show."
Thanks, Dan.
Throwing that out
Texas
there.
has got Lone Star beer and Whataburger, so
Yep.
We got Whataburgers here in Florida.
So what's the story on the Riviera that you guys have?
Man, the Riviera is I've had that car for 17 or 18 years. And just another car. I've always loved Rivs, and buddy of mine bought it at an auction and had big plans for it, never did anything for it. And I was like, dude, you're selling me this car. Finally he sold it to me, and just a super cherry car. And I've had opportunities to, people want to buy it. And I was like, man, I just can't, damn, dude, I just can't part with it, man. And it's been through a bunch of different changes and, but it probably needs a little freshening up, but just a great solid car, man.
What year Riv is it?
63.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Real nice.
63, and I put the Phantom grill in it, and so people think it's a 5. And then I put these little driving lights in the bumper, so it lights it up really nice, at night. And so everybody thinks it's a 5, but it's a 3 with a Phantom grill in it,
Yeah. I'm a fan of the boat tail Rivy.
Oh,
man.
man.
That's
I'm a
on my list,
fan.
man.
Those are so good.
Those are
You know,
cool.
the boat tail, man, the boat tail it's just starting to come on and everybody's starting to realize it. You know, now they're starting to go up. And it's, man, I've always loved the boat tail.
Oh, they're
Dude,
so
they're
nice.
awesome.
Yeah, they
I
are,
gotta
man.
go with a 69. I gotta go with a 69 Rivy. I gotta go with the 69.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, they're
That's
good
awesome.
looking too. They're good looking too. But I'm a fan of the boat tail.
Have you seen the
Oh,
one?
Oh,
yeah.
me too, man.
The one
Yeah.
that Penn did it. You know, Penn did it.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's a good
It's
looking
black.
car.
It's a pretty nice
Yeah.
looking car.
I've seen that one.
Oh, I know the car. Yeah.
Is your
Long live the nailhead.
is it up on the screen now?
No,
Yeah.
it's just a white box.
Hold on.
There it
There
is.
you go. There it is.
I've seen that on the show. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you've probably seen
yeah.
it in the background.
Yeah.
Well, you
Yeah.
it's always up on the lift, tucked away.
Great looking car.
Yeah, it's in there somewhere in the background.
So does your brother work with you guys? Because your brother did the bikes with you, didn't he?
Well, you know, it's kind of weird, Lou. It's you know, my brother did the bikes with me years ago, and then you know, after 08, 09, I was kind of like, man, you know, I moved down here, so you know, we kind of, you know, I got rid of a lot of employees and stuff, had to let a lot of guys go, and you know, obviously,
It really was just down to you and Mike.
yeah, it was me and Mike and Shorty, really. And my brother kind of did the business side of things, so you know, he kind of did the business side of things, and then you know, when that slowed down, there's really, you know, he kind of started doing his own thing, different. He got into a commercial roofing deal with a buddy of his, but what's cool is he really got interested in the production side of things, and he was the one that did all the teaser reels for this television show.
And he's the producer of our show.
So he's the producer.
I
He's
read
one of the
that.
producers
That's
of the
cool.
show. Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't come on screen, but he's there.
You'll see him. Yeah, you'll see him every now and then. Yeah, just briefly.
I've seen him in a couple, but I didn't know if he was you know, because you don't see him all the time. That's why I asked.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But he's right there behind the screen most of, you know, and he'll jump in, you know, he's a talented guy and he'll jump right in there with us, and we need a hand, man, he's right there, so yeah.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
cool.
Very cool.
Hey, Joe, Amanda, I got a question for you guys.
Yeah.
Unlike the tri-state area, we can't drive our cars every day. Right?
Right.
What's your everyday car? Kevin Tetz asked me that last week, and I want to know what your everyday car is.
Man, that's funny, man, because we get that all the time, man, but my current one's a
little 4-door.
It's a 2011
Lexus.
little Lexus that I bought from actually Amanda's brother, and it was just a beater, a high miles beater. And man, I drive them around. My last one was a little 05 Honda Civic, and man, I like something I can just drive the shit out of. And then, but man, I've got probably 20 cars that.
That was gonna be my next question. That's gonna be my next question.
They sit in the garage, man, and the batteries take a shit, and it's like, I got to charge the battery, drive this for a while. So I'll just kind of rotate them just to keep them kind of, keep them going and stuff. So.
Well, I got to tell you, one of my buddies, he conversates with you every now and then. His name is Nelson Rosado. He has that 67 Nova.
Oh, okay.
67 Nova, and he tubbed it out in such a way, and he stuffed some big meats behind there. And he was like, "Tell him I said hello."
Oh, cool, man, cool.
Yeah, that's my buddy from. We've been knowing each other since we were like 7 years old.
Oh,
and
nice, man, nice.
He has done some amazing stuff, and every time you go to his shop, it just blows your mind what he has in there.
Oh yeah, it's very cool.
Hey Joe, man, when are you gonna let me build you a torque converter? Get some wheel standing going on.
Man, I got a project I wanted to do, man. I got a everybody's going to big LSs and all this crap now. A buddy of mine sold a 406, a blown 406 AFR heads, 871 blower on it, and with a turbo 400 on it. Behind it with a trans brake, and I need a converter for it. So I'm wanting to put that. I want to find me a little S10 or something and build like a little wheelie truck. Just kind of build it out of some junk. Put that old small block in there, man. I need to pick your brain.
Oh yeah, I can definitely do that.
yeah.
Did you see that blown crab hoo car from Louisiana with a radical rod build off drive off at SEMA?
No, I did not.
It was a 27 Ford with a blown big block on it, and he was running about 50. They had to build the car, and then they had to drive it 1,400 miles into SEMA. That's the part
Oh, damn.
sticker, and he actually blew five pistons on the way, and he actually broke it down, replaced the pistons. I mean, just stripped the block clean and put it back together. Was back on the road in 4.5 hours.
Holy crap.
Just incredible. I mean, dude, it was an old push rod motor, but I'm just sitting there watching him, and it's like watching the guys at an NHRA race, man. They're just going at it. The hands were going. You couldn't even see what.
Oh yeah.
That's beast mode right there. That's
great people.
That reminds me of those drag week guys, man.
Yeah.
Those drag week guys. That stuff's incredible, man.
That's what I'm planning to do.
Oh man, that's the coolest new shit going on right there, man. It's that drag week stuff, man. You know,
I got friends that have been doing that for years. My friend Glenn's got a red and white 56. It used to be a blown car, now it's a twin turbo car.
Oh yeah.
I got a couple of friends that run that, and they're telling me, dude, you need to run this. And when we were out at PRI, we talked to the guys from Hot Rod, and they were like, you need to get that Trans Am in here because that race that you were in '92 is what started this.
Oh, that's cool.
Joe,
we want that car.
Yeah.
But you got to tell. I don't think Joe knows the car.
I showed him a picture of it at SEMA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Because I wanted to make because you got to tell people the importance of the car because if you don't tell them, no one knows the car.
Oh yeah.
You know
Well,
we
were talking before the show started today, and I told him about the ET and a mile an hour.
Okay.
What it weighed and how fast it actually was for a street-driven car.
Yeah, that's incredible, man.
But the thing is, this year we're coming back when I get it done. Lou's seen it already. I bought myself a 4-speed Lenko.
Oh, there you go.
Put a clutch back in the car. Yeah, that's gonna be fun.
I put my cell phone up in the chat room in there, so check it out and write it down. We'll get you a converter coming. We'll do some
that'd be awesome, man.
There you go.
That'd be awesome.
Hey, what's Shag do? Besides getting to hang out with your wife and make deals. That dude's like her boyfriend. He spends more time with her than you do.
Shag gonna do shit, man. Shag, yeah, he's we get that question a lot, man.
Yeah,
mainly from my employees, man. You know?
That's great.
Yeah,
he looks the part. That's all. That's his job.
Yeah,
the part.
He's the used parts deal maker, huh?
That's right, man. That's right.
Yeah, he's.
Well, when we put the show together, the producers are like, man, you know what? There's this big vacuum going on with overhauling's coming off the air, so we want to do a show. And I'm like, hold on, man. Hold on. We're not competing with overhauling.
Right.
You know what I mean? And but they're kind of thinking they needed to have this formula. And that's why they, Amanda pretty much runs the business. They're like, oh, that's cool and natural. Amanda's part of the team, but do you got a talking head guy? And I was like, well, not really. I got this buddy of mine, Shag, that hangs out a bunch, and he used to, he did marketing for us and stuff. And we put this teaser reel together, and
of course they loved him.
And of course, we just kind of, Shag's in there, and of course, they're like, oh man, this guy's a, be great for this stuff, and I'm like, oh,
look what you created.
What did we start here, man?
Seriously, he's like a superstar. Funny.
Yeah, Shag, Shag's a great guy, man. But,
he is. He's a nice
guy. But the guys at the shop, tease him. They say, Shag, what do you do, man? Same thing you guys are asking, man. What the hell do you do, man? They're like, man, you only show up when the camera's here, dude. What's up?
He's a hell of a negotiator.
But he is a negotiator. That's for damn sure, man.
Does he have another job?
He's got marketing jobs he's done. He used to work for Red Bull when I met him, and he did a bunch of stuff for us during the biker build-off. And so he's a good, just a marketing dude, and would always bring us free Red Bulls. And he'd work for different, drink companies and always bringing us crap, and so he's definitely
So what
he's
you're
a good
saying
mouth.
is Shag's a bullshitter.
Yeah.
Exactly, man. He's a great bullshitter, man.
Yes.
Remember the movie History of the World Part 1? When Mel Brooks and Gregory Hines are in the unemployment line in Rome? And he goes up to the window and it's Maud. And she's like, what do you do? He's like, I'm a philosophizer. Oh, so you're a bullshitter.
That's it. That's Shag right there, man. That's Shag right there, man.
Yesterday.
Yeah.
Bullshit the day before.
That's it. Yeah.
Got another question from Facebook. Who's the new interior guy?
Well, there's two interior guys that kind of took the place of Kato, and you've seen one of them on a few of the episodes. His name's Aaron, and then he does all the designing. He does all the fabrication with the panels or with the the wood. What do you call that?
Just the door panels and the
consoles and all that. And then we've got a new stitcher, which you'll meet, and
Justin. Yeah, he's really cool.
Justin.
He's out of Houston and wanted to relocate, and so we were fortunate to get somebody right in there, and we kind of planned it. Right when Cato was finished with all his projects, Justin and Aaron kind of took over. So that was we were lucky there. We had somebody to take his place.
They're great guys.
Yeah.
Did Cato go elsewhere? Is he doing other stuff now?
He his wife actually.
She's a doctor, so she got a job at the CDC in Atlanta. But Cato went to Brian Fuller's shop. He's working out of there now.
Yeah, he's working with Brian Fuller now. So Brian's a buddy of ours, and they hooked up, and Cato's sharing a little shop space with him.
Yeah,
that's cool. Did he take his truck?
Yeah. Yeah.
Unfortunately, we love that thing.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah.
The lunch wagon, man.
The lunch wagon, right?
That thing's cool.
I got one of them in the yard.
Oh man.
We have a couple more in our yard too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want. Well, the one I got in the yard isn't mine, but I've always wanted one of those. I've always liked the Metros and the old bread trucks. But I just, I can't get one right now. I got too much other shit going on.
Yeah.
Can't do it.
Story of our lives, man.
Yeah.
Hey Lou, I took a photo today on over on I-4 by Ybor. There was a square body Suburban.
Yeah.
Sitting real low, white wall tires. I snapped a photo as I was driving by, and I'll put it up later.
I'm getting ready to put one on the road now. Getting ready to put another Bourbon on the road. Got my wheels and tires for it. I'm gonna fucking slam it. I'm gonna build a front end for it, and then I'll get it on there.
Oh
yeah.
Square body stuff's on fire, man.
It is.
Oh, I know. I've had them for years.
Yeah.
But I got Bill Stein actually did some shocks for the rear for me.
Oh,
I was having
nice.
Bill Stein had some street rod shocks that I was running, and they're good shocks. But all three of my Suburbans all have the 44-gallon tank, the seat in the back.
Yeah.
And, you load the fam up. It's a lot of weight back there.
Yeah.
And I kept bending the shafts on the shocks. And I'm running a 900-pound spring. I got 4-bar on it. So I didn't want to do the other two till I figured out what the problem was. So I went to Bill Stein here in Mooresville, and I showed him what I got, showed him pictures of everything I got. And they took some of the off-road shocks. So the off-road shocks got I think it's like a 15-millimeter shaft or something. It's
the big stuff.
It's as big as this bottle cap.
Yep.
I mean, it's a good size shaft.
In the new gas Pro Mod shocks are that big.
What?
To compensate for tire shake.
Yeah. So.
Oh yeah.
So they actually took some off-road shocks, cut them down, and they made them the size of the street rod shocks for me. So I'm going to put them on and see how they work.
Oh yeah,
and go from
awesome.
And if I can solve that problem, it's game on.
Is someone bringing you a Christmas present?
It's my youngest son, and he wrapped this present for his brother. I'm sorry, for his mother.
Very cool.
Looks great, bud.
wonder never
Well, it's a
cease.
good thing it's here for
That's my
so long.
youngest.
Hey, at least you wrapped it. My kids hand my wife the bag.
That's Amanda.
That's awesome.
Amanda.
Hi.
I
We can't hear you.
Oh, it's here. Here, say it again.
People.
Hey.
Hello.
Hey, Nicholas.
So Miss Amanda, as soon as I brought my shaft into the picture, what I was saying was, all I saw was your face just.
Like, what the hell did he get his mother?
It was a pretty good gift.
Yeah.
It's
Maybe
something
watch him,
she'll
don't tell
remember.
Oh gosh.
Hey guys, I'm going to bed. Joe, keep up the good work. I really enjoy your show, and take care, everybody.
All right, good night.
Scott.
Good night, Scott.
Bye. Thank you.
Oh, Lou, you must be very proud.
Huh?
You must be very proud.
Man,
Yeah.
Well, I have one from a previous marriage in Boston. She's coming down for Christmas. And then there's Nathan, who's 26. Lily's 23, and that's Nicholas. He's 19. And Nathan just asked his girlfriend to marry him. Lily's getting married in October.
Oh,
so yeah,
geez.
we're almost down to an empty house.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah, he'll be the
That's-
last one. He'll be the last
Congrats.
one.
Very strange feeling. Very strange feeling.
I can't wait.
Me too.
Spectacular. You're going to enjoy
Well,
it.
these are my kids, okay?
I'm ready for them all to get the hell out.
Yeah.
And I tell everybody, Nathan's girlfriend is Casey, and I tell everybody this because it's just I love it. First time we meet her, she comes in the house. I sit her down at the dining room table. I say, Casey, I need to know what your intentions are with my son because I have a plan, and I need my plan to jive with what you got going on. So my plan is simple. I want him out of my damn house because I cannot chase his mother around his house naked as long as he's in here. I believe I can help you with that. That's what she told me. She's like, I can help you with that.
That's funny.
I totally see Lou with a naked room, standing there feeding fish.
Yeah, I think that's out of my need to go box.
I can never watch Car Fix now.
Yeah. You messed it up.
I'll watch the show with Sam again.
And it's funny because before they started dating, they're doing the seeing each other thing. I'd call from wherever I was, and I'd get a report. I'm like, "Where are we at?" She goes, "We're getting closer." She gives me reports. And then we went to I took him down to Atlanta to the track because I was actually shooting when the 4 Wide Nationals came in. So I took Casey and Nate down to Atlanta because she had never been to to see the Top Fuels run and the Funny Cars run. So I take her down there and I'm introducing her to everybody like Jack Beckman, Ron Capps, Clay Millican. I'm introducing all those guys that I know as my daughter-in-law. This was over the summer. This is my daughter-in-law. And my son would just look at me. I'm like, no, you don't. She's my daughter-in-law.
It's happening. Yeah.
Hey, Joe, Mike Weiner from Car Show Nationals is asking, who's your idol as far as a car builder is concerned?
I am.
I am.
Damn it, Mike! You didn't know that?
Yeah. Man, I'd probably the top guy. Troy Trepanier is probably the top guy for me, man. Chip and
Boyd.
But man, there's some really, it's incredible. These small shops, man, are just turning out some wild stuff, man. These people you haven't even heard of, and it's like, damn. Just a lot of really good talent out there, man. But as far as when I was coming up into it, it's Chip and Boyd and Troy Panyer and there's even you guys know Scott Sullivan too, man. You remember he was doing some cool stuff,
Yeah.
just some cool
Cheese
stuff.
whiz.
Cheese whiz, man, that 55,
Yeah.
and
There's a 56.
that's probably the guys, when I first started. Now there's all kinds of really talented guys that you always get ideas from people that admire what they do, and everybody's got a cool little twist on how they do things, and it's hard to have a style, and when you see these guys that develop a style, man, out of this sea of talent, that's kind of the cool thing,
Yeah.
Cool.
So Dan wants to know
Hey,
how
Joe,
you
we were
guys
talking
met
about-
Bama Brown. Did you already talk about that?
He's
I
just a
missed
car guy.
Okay.
Yeah, he's
Oh,
a car
who's
guy.
that? What are they talking about?
Bama Brown. How did we meet Bama Brown?
Oh, Bama Brown,
Yeah,
man. Yeah,
didn't Mike run into him?
well, it's kind of Bama. He
lives in our town.
Lives in our town here, and he actually had a Nova for sale. Mike heard Mike, the guy that works with me there. He's like, hey man, this dude says he's got a Nova for sale, man. SS67 Nova, and so we went to his house, check it out, and it's typical Bama stuff. It was junk, and the dude's connected, man. He's just a big gearhead, and like we said earlier, he's got I think he's got like the #1 radio show on this country station here in Austin, and
He's real witty.
He's a riot, man.
Hell, we can't get rid of him.
Yeah, so he's just connected. He's been here forever, and he's connected. He's like, oh man, I know the dude's got this. I know this dude's got this extra 9-inch. Anything you need, man. He knows.
He knows everyone.
And
the funny part to this is, so we separately had met Steve Reyes, who has you see us pick there all the time. He's got the scrapyard. So we probably season 2, we discover that those guys are actually best friends. We didn't meet them through each other. We just met one and met the other, and then lo and behold, they're best friends. Been best friends forever. It's crazy. Everybody's connected in the car room. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy. That's cool though. That's cool.
Yeah.
So basically, what you have, Bama Brown is another bullshitter. That's basically what it comes down to.
I mean, literally, that's his job every morning, just to bullshit on the radio,
That's right.
man, and he bullshits and real person too, man.
Yeah.
So
that's cool.
He's a great guy. He is a character, man.
Awesome.
Everybody's like, man, how do you get? Are these people actors and shit? What is this? Where do you get all these crazy people? I said, no, man, these people are
legit.
attracted to us.
Yeah.
Are these nuts?
Legit car people.
Do you guys have a lot of people that stop by the shop just regularly while you guys are working, or do you have to kind of block off the shop while you're working, or?
Well, it can be a hassle when we're shooting and stuff, but we leave the doors open. We get a lot of folks that come by. It's nice to have people come in and they want to see the shop, and then they buy shirts and shit, and it's good, man, because people are, they go to Gas Monkey or something. They're like, man, those guys aren't even. That's not even a real place, and
They're not even there.
I saw so and so, and he didn't even say shit to us and stuff, And
they're amazed that it's actually a real shop and not a set. That's what blows their minds when they get there. And we try to accommodate them as much as we can. I mean, our shop is kind of out in the middle of nowhere, so if they've driven all the way out to where we are, we want them to have the best experience possible.
Right.
Nice.
Yeah. So we get a lot of folks in, man, and it's cool. Yeah, it's cool to.
Well, that's what I'm saying. The difference between what you guys build and what they build, not to knock their model, but just the quality is so much better what you guys build. I mean,
it's like I said, with the TV crap, it's tough. We try to make them as slick as we can, but the really cool cars are the ones we can't even do on the show because it takes so long to do.
Yeah.
But,
right.
TV won't allow it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's
but
kind of
knows you can't do it.
The one show that they are allowing it on is
what's that?
the guy that won the 3 back-to-back hand-built hot rods.
Oh yeah.
He's got cars there that he's taking 3 years to build for SEMA or whatever.
Yes,
And they're time shifting those cars. That's a very odd show.
You talking about Pure Vision?
Yeah, Pure Vision.
Steve Strope.
Steve Strope,
yeah. And
yeah,
he's got
we were
cars that
watching
he's
it the other
taken
night.
two or more years to build a SEMA
Exactly,
car.
Exactly.
And they're showing that thing on TV.
I know. I don't know how they're shooting
Vineyard
that.
Cars is similar to that as well.
He must own his own production company.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. The only way I can see it.
He's got some sort of deal where he's working that stuff out over a long period of time, and then he's sending them a product, to put up on the air.
Kindig's doing the same thing, man, because, we talk to those guys, and they're shooting that shit over 2 or 3 years. And so you're watching these latest episodes, man, they started those cars, 3 years ago. And a lot of some of those cars even been in there 2 or 3, 5 years. And so they just got so much, so much volume of cars coming out that they're just that far backlogged that, they get 2 or 3 years to build those things, man,
as a builder, I just can't physically understand how it could take 3 years to build a car.
Well, yeah. Well,
when I had my business, I had a guy come in and say, every spot that you have to work in your shop has to generate money. It has to be, if you got 10 spots, that's 10 businesses that have to generate. And if you're taking 3 years to build a car, well, you better be charging that guy $500,000.
Right.
Well, and that's what they're doing, guys.
I think Kindig does.
But see, the other, I think something else that's going on is the other thing is who owns those shows.
That's
what I mean? Like the network owns CarFix. We have, that's it. They own it.
The network
they
owns
own
our
all of
show
it.
too.
Yeah, see, and that makes a big difference on what you get to build and what you don't get.
Yes.
The network,
because the network isn't going to let you build a big build that's going to take a year.
Right.
You know what I mean? They're just not into that.
Yeah.
But have you thought about doing behind the scenes or something else? I know that you guys are probably pretty busy, but have you thought about doing something on a Facebook or your own YouTube channel?
The problem is who is owning the show, Brian.
What?
The problem is ownership of the show. Like stuff that they don't have to build on the show, they could probably do it on.
Yeah.
But they would have to go under Joe and Amanda. They would have to go under the name of their shop.
I mean, that's what I'm just saying about seeing you're telling us that you even have wilder stuff or neater stuff. I just didn't know if you thought about spanning out where you don't need the network anymore.
We're definitely trying to figure that out, and it's just a time thing really for us, but that's where it's going. It's all going.
Yeah,
and streaming digital stuff.
Yeah, and see the other piece to that is the contract, because my contract says that internet stuff is excluded.
That you can do it. Or can't do it?
I can do it. I can do internet stuff. Okay. Just for argument's sake, say Brian, you had a show on the History Channel. I can do an appearance, but that's all I can do. I can show up and talk, but I can't do nothing else.
Right.
If the show is like if I go down to Austin and I show up at Joe and Amanda's, I can go on there and work because it's in the Discovery family.
Right.
Well, you know what? It's funny
They won't bother me about it.
Sometimes they allow it and sometimes they don't with us. Like we had Chris Jacobs come and we did a huge thing with him. They did not use any of it. And then we had the guys from Illinois.
Rod Squad, Joe, or not Joe.
They just flat out told us no, we couldn't do it.
It's kind of a weird deal.
So strange.
Yeah, but see, they probably called the network and they didn't want them because if the network owns the show, they're running it through the network. I guarantee you, they're running it through the network.
Well, on the Motor Trend app, I was amazed when I paid for the year and I went through there, and I've been following this guy, Lucky Costa. He's got a Chevelle that he built. And That's what I'm saying. But that's the cool part. You can see them He's talking. I mean, I don't know if it's a big revenue generator, but that's the way people are going. I stream more. I watch car shows and home improvement shows.
Yeah, I'm getting ready to. I'm getting ready to start another deal where I'm doing it all online.
Hey, Lou, let me ask you a question real quick. Suppose you had something like in your garage, Lou's garage, and you put all your stuff on Facebook, and I'm sorry, Instagram, YouTube. Would that be allowed for you?
Yeah, for me, because my contract says that internet content is excluded from the contract.
Okay, so you can build whatever you want in your garage under Lou's garage.
Garage Insider.
Garage Insider TV.
Well, Lou, I already volunteered my Chevelle. You can do whatever you like to.
And I got last week. I went up to Roxville, which is 2 hours from me, and I talked to this gentleman I know, Chip Laughlin, and he's got some stuff that he wants built. So I'm gonna build stuff for him. He's got a guy that can shoot it and edit it. So we're gonna do that, and we'll put it on the internet, and I'll build him stuff.
Hey guys, I gotta bail out of here. I got a couple things I gotta take care of. Joe, Amanda, it was great meeting you guys. There is one last question. I'm just gonna put it out here for you. You can go ahead and answer it. Cameron Cooper over on Facebook wants to know, in your opinion, what's the emerging trends in hot rodding?
Oh man.
And like I said, I gotta go. Good night, guys.
Good night, Jim.
Later, Jim.
Good night, Jim.
Be safe. Merry Christmas.
The emerging trend.
Fender flares.
Yeah, fender flare.
They're making a comeback. They are. They're making a comeback. Look at SEMA. How many fender flare cars were at SEMA?
Yep.
Oh, I know. It's crazy. Yeah.
I think to tweak that question a little bit, I think a better twist on that is, what do you see as the next hot car or truck to build?
Oh man.
See, I think the 60s and early 74 trucks, and I've been saying this for about 2 years, is the next big thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think yeah.
Well, the C10s are, they're so popular, man, but they're just a sea of those things.
Well, and they've gotten to the point where you can't touch them.
Right, exactly.
They're expensive as shit now.
Yeah.
But man, I think you're going to start seeing a lot of stuff like people are going to take these, 85, 86 Monte Carlo SSs, and you're going to see a lot of that stuff come in. And, I know Roadster Shop's already making a frame for those cars. And because those younger, a little bit younger guys coming up, those were the cars, that, they couldn't have, we wanted the 69 Camaros and stuff. These guys wanted the,
the Monte SS,
So I think it's going to be the more modern stuff, and it's going to be interesting to see what they do with it,
There you go, Lou.
There it is.
Oh, yeah.
The bourbon.
Cool.
Yeah, there it is. It's awesome. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Louis, can you put a picture of the Cadillac up there?
I got a question for you, Joe. I was able to run into a real good deal with a truck, but the guy had I got the truck, and it's got an aftermarket sunroof in it that leaks like an open convertible top.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's horrible. It's a Laredo. I mean, it's an F-250, 7.3 diesel. I mean, it's got helper springs on it, and Mickey Thompson's 4-door truck. I picked it up for $800.
Wow.
I mean, it's a sweet ride, in a nutshell. I mean, I've even thought about putting a piece of steel over the sunroof and getting somebody to shoot it. I don't even care what it looks like at this point, because it's such an awesome truck, and it's got sentimental value too, because I knew the guy. He passed away from cancer and stuff, so it was almost not really a car deal. It was more kind of gifted to me kind of thing, because my daughter liked to clean it and all that stuff. So
yeah.
I was told that maybe a windshield cement or glue around it, or what would you say about possibly just yanking that out and putting steel over it and
Well, the best thing, with the crown of that roof, you're going to want to find somebody with an English wheel or something to put a little crown in it, because man, you try to weld that up with flat steel, it's just going to look like literally hammered shit, So, or if you can find a donor where you can cut that skin out and try to, because it's going to have that natural crown to it, you're going to want to try to get that back in there because it's just going to be a nightmare trying to weld that back up, and so, obviously with the headliner out and everything, you'd want to go back and put some structure in there to kind of support it while you weld it. And, that would be the thing. If you can get it to support a little bit, you can probably weld it without warping too bad. And, put a little mud on it and try to blend it in, man.
Cave it and pave it.
Yeah. Paint it?
Paint it. I never heard that before.
Yeah, I've never heard that. Pave it and paint it.
Just put some flat paint on it, man. Make it look like a two-tone or something up top,
There you go.
Oh God.
There you go.
Or hell, put a vinyl top on it, man. Put a vinyl top on that thing.
Oh God! If I just no, God, no. The Landau top.
That's a throwback. That's a throwback.
What was the Cadillac, the Barrettes that had that pig metal plate on it?
Yes,
that's correct.
Yeah.
Those coach had those little coach horns.
That's right, man. The coach horns, man. Yeah.
Remember it was like an '86 Eldorado with the stainless roof insert.
Yeah, the Barrette.
Oh yeah, man.
They had
the Brougham, man. The Brougham had that for a while, man.
The Brougham, they had the Landau,
yeah.
And the front was stainless.
That's right, yeah. Stainless roof. There you go, man.
Yep. Let's Ben Nelson up a chunk of stainless, put it on there.
There you go, man.
Earlier, before the show started, we were talking about the ridiculous gas pedal that a former owner had put into my car. I just wanted you guys to see that.
There it is. There it is.
Oh, man.
Note the 90 elbow. Note that.
Wow.
Look at the plumbing. It's all plumbing stuff. Right?
That's NHRA.
Oh yeah, because here it's got the toe loop, the safety loop. So that's
does,
NHRA.
man. Got the safety loop.
John, it's custom. It's custom built.
Joe, check out the welding on this tab.
I'm checking it out, man. That's a good. Oh man, look at that tack. That's wow.
Send that.
So Joe, from a body perspective, I remember a show you guys did. You found some paper. I think you were talking to Bama. You said you thought it was his car chicken wire or something you guys were using.
Oh yeah.
When we blew it apart, my Chevelle, the car looked good. And when we blew it apart, we found in the A pillars and below they had stuffed it with newspaper and bondoed over it. Have you ever seen that?
Oh yeah, man. That was a common practice, man. Yeah. Common practice, man.
I've seen that.
I mean, ridiculous.
We've seen all kinds of crazy crap.
I've seen that on one of your episodes.
I've laid the Sunday paper like fiberglass. I've taken fiberglass resin and put the Sunday paper in there and laid it on the corners and on the inside and out and paint it. It looks great until it rains.
Yeah, exactly, man. Those old school dudes, that's what they did, man. We've seen some crazy stuff, man. Yeah. It's incredible.
We've seen more. I put that picture of that Continental up. I don't know if you saw it, but man, that's the way, that's the look I would love my Chevelle to have. But that costs a lot of money to get a car to look like that. It sits like that.
Well, I mean, when you first look at that car, it's all stance, and
yeah.
I mean, it's air ride, and Chevelle, man, you don't want to do a Chevelle with air ride. It's kind of cool, but I mean, you can get them looking good, man, with nice coilovers, get them down, man. And
I've got all that. It's just now I need to. I should have mini tubbed the car, but Lou and I were talking, and since it's already been painted, I don't know if it's the right time to do it. But you can't really get a lot of tire under an A body unless you start really getting crazy. So
yeah.
You can always buy more paint. Don't worry.
Yeah. Well, if you're careful with it, you can get in there and cut it and do a mini tub in there, and you want to stitch it in. You don't want to fully weld it because a lot of the big quarter panel on a Chevelle like that, big long quarters on those cars, man, you can kind of buckle them, but if you stitch them in,
I mean, I stuffed a 10-inch under my Chevelle.
Well, no, I've got the car's got a 285 9.5 under it. But I want something with a little more. I'd like to get like a 12-inch or something under it.
Is anybody making
you can pretty much
a larger preformed
tub? Close to 11 inches in there.
Well,
if you
yeah,
get the
but
right
on the
offset.
A bodies, you got a. What year's your car, Terry?
Well, I got 67. I got 71.
Okay, so same, yeah, 67. So you have to like on that day, if you lucky, what he did on his, they pulled the body off. Of course, they have the capabilities to do that. I should have done that when we had the body off, but you basically section you narrow the frame and then you plate it. And not me doing it. You don't want me welding. I'd probably burn the car to the ground. But it's pretty. I mean, to lose somebody like Lou, that would be easy, I would think. Well, not easy.
Tori, who's the guy that John was asking the pre-stamped and Tori? Who was the guy that we found? Remember?
Repeat that. You dropped out for a second, Lou.
Remember the stamped out inner fender, inner wheel well? I mean, remember this the stamped out one? You remember who that was?
That was
Detroit Speed or
no? Detroit Speed's not making one for a Chevelle. Remember we found a guy doing them for the 66.
Ooh, there we go.
Oh.
Yeah, because that's the way to go. Like that Camaro I'm doing. It's a larger stock tub.
Me and Tori were talking about this, and I was talking to somebody, and they said this is the guy, and I called Tori right then and there and told him the name. I know he's got it. There's a guy doing it.
Too.
It was up in Michigan, I think. He's doing a stamp.
Cars Inc.
What?
Cars Inc. has it.
Cars Inc. from Michigan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think cutting the tubs. I don't think I'm too worried about. It's the sectioning of the. That's what I was talking about, the whole frame thing. It would just be easier to put a new frame under the damn car and just be done with it.
On a full frame Chevelle, it's really easy.
Yeah,
it really is.
It's not as bad as you're thinking, bro.
Yeah,
you're cutting it in front of the tub. You're cutting it behind the tub. You're taking that stock piece and you're going to move it in.
Yeah.
And then you're going to add some 2x3 or 2x4 to reconnect it to the original outer chassis.
Okay.
And then you need a larger tub, and you could either find a larger inner tub if they make it, or you split it down the middle, right where that seam is, because they're all two-piece, and you move the inner tub over, and then you fill in the strip.
Yeah.
Look at John
and then you body work it, and you're ready to roll, man.
Yeah. See, I can put the car in the trailer tomorrow, guys. It is Christmas. So I can bring it. We're not driving it around Virginia. I got salt on the road.
John just said bring it down. John just said bring it down.
Hey, I got friends in Florida. Let's go, man.
There you go.
Bring it down.
So okay, cool.
Yeah, but they're selling a pre-stamped 2-inch wider.
There you go.
Because if I plan on putting a bigger motor, I'm going to need some more tire under the car. It lights them up now.
Honestly, with the pre-stamp, it's even easier because all you do, what I do is I cheat. I take a piece of wood. I make like a point, like a pointer, and then the other side I put a 1/2-inch hole, put my Sharpie in it, and just trace the tub, the stock
tub.
Called a widget. Yeah. And then I just cut out that 2-inch that I just
aluminum
cut it
and
out.
carbon tubs in cars for years.
Man. I drill out all the spot welds, boop, throw it out, put in a new one, weld it together.
We had, at the chassis shop, we would put that half-round plate that goes on the chassis.
Yeah.
And then we had an aluminum tub that was about maybe 13 inches wide, the tub piece. So it never hit the quarter panels.
Right.
And we had different length widgets pointed with a Sharpie in it for different cars, and you just trace the quarter panel, and then you take that piece of cardboard and you flip it, and then you trace the other way and cut out the carbon fiber tub or the aluminum tub.
That's hilarious.
You could blow a set of tubs in a car literally in an hour and a half. Done.
Yep. Done.
Yeah.
Yep.
See, at $100 an hour, that's $150 for a tub job. That's good.
Yeah.
$150 to do.
Yeah.
We're talking on something that's already cleaned out.
It can be done.
I know, I'm kidding.
Yeah.
All right, guys. It's coffee time, so I'm running away.
Who needs coffee?
Hey, when you coming down?
Coffee. Huh?
When you coming down?
Like January 6th.
Cool. All right.
Yeah, soon. Like what?
We'll get together.
Days, whatever it is.
Tiki bar will be open.
Be running through here.
I'll be running down Florida. I don't go through Alabama, but I can. On one of the trips, I can come through Alabama and stop in and bother you.
There you go.
That. Not a
All
problem.
right, so let's do our exit, and if anybody wants to stay on, they can, because some of these guys stay on until 2:00 in the morning.
We
talk
But some
about all
other people
kinds
that
of
are working
stuff.
in the morning.
Yeah, we talk about crazy stuff.
But hey, before we sign off, I want everybody to know that we still have the giveaway from Jet.
When
the
is that?
saw.
Tomorrow?
27 hours left.
Yeah.
So go on the website.
I'm winning it. Don't even bother.
planandtraffic.com and enter to win this saw. So John's probably gonna win it. But anyway, go on there and hit the website and join the website so we know who you are. And what else we got going on?
Join that website and sign up and pay.
Sign up.
Pay. I'm paying every month. I'm paying.
Yeah.
It's worth
Help
it.
us out. Help us keep this situation free. So that's about it. Do that and check out our Patreon site. It's Patreon. Wait, what is it? Wait a minute, hold on. Patreon.com/planandtraffic.
That's
Now to
it.
get
Sign
to our
up. Get
website.
on the monthly deal. Make a donation.
Help us out. We're poor mechanics and artists.
Poor car guys, period.
Car guys, yeah.
Louis, I'm going to reach out to Callie's, and I'm going to reach out to Lizard Skin tomorrow to see what they can do about sponsoring the show. I got some. Today was a crazy day. Tomorrow's a little bit lighter, so I'll make those 2 calls tomorrow.
Sounds good.
Coolio. All right, so we're going to sign out. Brian, go.
It's Hey Maco Man. Find me on Facebook or Twitter and Instagram. If you need any Maco tools, give me a call.
Jason, go.
Jason from Fairfax signing out.
Al, go.
Hey, Al Handy. Deep in Al. Have a very good night.
Terry, go.
Yo, Coverman 66, LS Central. Yo, we out.
Nelson, go.
It's time for bed. It's going to be Christmas time anytime, and in just a few days. Be careful, be safe, and if you guys have any torque converter needs, if you want to pop wheelies or just put your car in gear, I'm your guy.
Right on.
Tori, go.
If you have a tired old worn-out rear end, don't worry. I have all the essentials for your rear differential. Merry Christmas, anyone. And regarding Mike Risto, he had to leave.
Clarified that.
I did. Rear differential. Let's not. Hey, this is G-Ray. This is a family show here. You
I wouldn't get that carried away.
My kids watching, for God's sake, But Mike Risto, he sends his best. Also, he's sorry he had to leave early, but he wishes everybody the best. And he said it was nice meeting you, Joe and Amanda. So, Merry Christmas, everybody. We'll see you next week.
John, go.
John Guerriero. Look me up on Facebook, Chassis Connection Race Cars, or my big business Tampa Aquarium Service. And Joe and Amanda, was awesome to meet you guys. Keep up the good work.
Man,
Yep,
Keep
very
watching
much
that
so.
show.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Joe, Amanda, go.
Man, thanks for having us on Plan and Traffic. We've had a blast, man. And
Merry Christmas.
bullshitting with the guys. Merry Christmas, man. Thanks for having us, man.
We really appreciate you guys.
If you ever want to come back on, you're more than welcome to. I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves.
That's it.
I'm Lou
Any
Santiago.
Thursday.
Playing in Traffic every Thursday, 9 o'clock Eastern. This is what we do. We're trying to make it grow even more.
Yeah.
Lewis, take us out.
And I'm Louis Lee from All Ins Magazine. And thank you, everybody on Facebook, for coming on and giving us good questions. I'd like to thank our special guests. You're welcome anytime. Just pop in anytime. Just come on.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yep. And we appreciate
Amanda,
everybody.
Joe, you got the link.
That's
So
here. Yeah, you got the link.
Yeah.
Just jump in anytime.
Right on.
Hey, if you got
Appreciate
anything new that you want to, promote or anything, just jump in.
We'll do it, man. We appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you. Thanks, everybody.
thank you for coming by. We had a blast.
Merry Christmas, Joe.
See you
and
guys.
Amanda. Nice to meet you guys.
We'll talk to
Merry
Shorty and
Christmas,
try and get
everyone.
him on, too, next time. So.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
We'll
He's
do that.
funny.
Yeah, I talked to him at SEMA, but I never got his card. He was out of cards. So
I got his
we can
number.
hook,
I
we
got
can hook you
Shorty's
up, man.
number.
We can hook you up, yeah.
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 We need a Shorty Shag show.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Shorty's oh my God. Oh.
That's what we need to do in the new year.
Oh,
You need to.
Lord.
That'll be huge.
Careful
You
what
guys-
wish for.
You guys need to come back before your season starts. You need to come back
Yeah.
before
Yeah,
your
that'd
new
be cool.
season starts and bring everybody on. That would
That'd be
it's
cool.
promotion and it's fun.
Yeah, do it from
Oh,
your
yeah.
shop.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That'd be
Yep.
cool.
That's what you need to do.
That's fine.
Cool.
If you guys want to do that, let's set it up. Tori will take care of it, or Lewis
will
take care of it. Yeah, that's fine.
Absolutely.
That's cool. Yeah, I'll get Joe. I'll get your number from Tori because I don't have you guys' number. I have it.
Okay, sounds good, brother.
And hey, I'm glad you guys had a good time. So I'm gonna go get coffee. I'm out. Later.
Bye, guys.
Good night.
Hey guys.
Good night, Joe. Merry Christmas, everyone.
Take care, everyone.
Good night.
Hey, Tori.
Yes, Brian.
Hey, I'm working on your list of stuff, and I'll get
Thank you
all the prices and so forth on everything that
you're
you
awesome.
sent me. Okay.
Yeah,
Thank you, Brian. I had somebody contact me who's a fan of the show, and I'm like, oh, wait a minute. You're the first person that came to mind. So.
Oh yeah. No, like I said, I got. I just wanted to make a couple calls and see if I can get.